This is now part 2, and it starts with context and commentary entitled Violent, Vibrant, Vulgar. Paris turns to the 1900s. Anarchists in Paris make their protests known with 11 bombs exploding between 1892 and 1894. Art is exploding in Paris. Rodin is creating sculptures. Debussy is composing music. Zola, Proust, and Stein have their pens to paper, busy writing. Painters transcending tradition include Monet, Matisse, Renoir, Toulouse, Cézanne, and Picasso, just to name a few. Extravagance is the order of the day. Reveling in a glaring spotlight, the extreme wealthy are blind to the suffering around them. One writer of that time, Thorstein Veblen, in 1898, he writes, "Elegant dress serves its purpose of elegance not only in that it is expensive, but also because it is the insignia of leisure." The substantial reason for our tenacious attachment to the skirt is just this: it is expensive, and it hampers the wearer at every turn and incapacitates her for all useful exertion. The like is true of feminine custom of wearing the hair excessively long. Back to the text. Over-the-top weddings feed the newspaper society columns. The list of gifts for one wedding includes bags of diamonds, rubies, and sapphires, a Louis XVI table, and a solid gold vase. While wedding guests are gorging at festivities, the French government declares that an 11-hour working day is reasonable with only a 1-hour break. In all fairness, though, it should be said that the following year the daily workday is decreased to 10.5 hours. For a full day's work, men earn 5.7 francs, while women for the same job earn 1.5 francs. Inflated prices gobble down their meager income, and women uses her wages for the day to buy 1 kilo, which is 2.2 pounds, of sugar, and that costs 1.15 francs. This is assuming the woman has any say in what to do with her pay. By law, women are legally obliged to hand over their wages to their husbands. Deaths, divorces, and drama in the coming years make great material for the new invention of moving pictures. The pace of life picks up when the Paris metro opens, and within a year the metro carries 17 million passengers. 50 million visitors for the 1900 Paris World's Fair can see and be seen on the latest sensation, a moving sidewalk. Here are a few more highlights that set the stage for Marie's world. In 1900, the Summer Olympics in Paris have the first appearance of women in modern games history. 1901, Queen Victoria is out. She dies after 63 years as the Queen of Great Britain. 1901, Toulouse is out. Aside from his famous posters, he creates a cocktail mix of cognac and absinthe. His joke of naming the drink the earthquake finally triggers a seismic shift that kills him. He dies 36 years old from the complications of alcoholism and syphilis. 1902, a Rhodes Scholarship are established, but it's for men only. Women will wait until 1976. 1902, the eulogy for Zola is read. His wife, Alexandrine, will be the one to inform Zola's mistress, Jean, of Zola's death. Zola had crossed the line of discretion by going for walks in the public parks of Paris with Jean, and when Zola was in exile in England, Jean is who joined him. Alexandrine makes peace with Jean and her 2 children by Zola. Alexandrine provides Jean financial support and legally adopts the 2 children. Giving them the surname Émile Zola, Alexandrine ensures that the children are heirs to the Zola estate. 1904, Claude Debussy can compose music and play the piano, but his string of women, married or not, makes his personal life a shambles. For one summer, 1904, he disappears and only his publisher knows his whereabouts. When Debussy returns, he moves out from his wife, who attempts suicide by shooting herself in the stomach. She survives, but Debussy still continues with getting a divorce. 1903. Car races are in the streets of Paris. For one race, over 200,000 people show up and see the horseless carriages. 1905. A deep sigh of relief comes from women who are now free of wearing a corset. However, it will still be several more years that women are sent to an asylum or prison for demanding their right to vote. Women who fast in prison as a means of protest are tied down and force-fed. France finally concedes the right to vote for women in 1944. 1905. Poet Rainier Maria Rilke is staying with Rodin and doing administrative work for him. Rodin's longtime housekeeper/partner/mistress is Rose. Rose carries on running the house and studio while Rodin carries on having affairs with his latest models. Rodin finally marries Rose in 1917, the year before he dies. 1910. French glory starts hitting bumps in the road. Paris is flooded in 1910. 1911. The Mona Lisa is missing for a full day before someone realizes it. When a guard is questioned, he replies, "Oh, the photographers have it." The Louvre goes in lockdown. After searching the 49 acres of museum, all they find is Mona Lisa's frame hidden under a staircase. 1912. Aside from the embarrassment of losing the Mona Lisa, France is particularly miffed that they are in 5th place for gold medals in the 1912 Olympics. It isn't that awful to lose to the United States or Sweden, but coming in behind Germany really gets their goat. 1913. The Mona Lisa is returned, and the thief, Perugia, that's the thief. He, after he serves his time in jail, he opens a paint store in Paris. You can't make this stuff up. 1914. In the next 4 years, none of this drama will matter. World War I is starting, and the total casualty count of military and civilian people is 38 million. First, Marie needs to meet Pierre. And that's the end of Context and Commentary for Part 2. Thank you.